This is Dan of Vagabond Awake. Welcome back. And this video will cover 7 more things you must know before retiring early abroad. And these arose from subscriber Mike, and he wanted to know about money, clothing, luggage, flying, whether to buy round-trip tickets, what papers he should bring, is his passport enough, and medical question, and then COVID, should he wait or travel now? And then another subscriber asked, why are Chung and I traveling during coronavirus? I would like to answer those. Plus, at the end of the video, I'll show you some resources where I've gone into these in more detail, if you'd like more detail about these questions. And so money, do you use a US-based bank card, or arrive in a country and use local currency? Okay, I have a video on international banking, but here's the short story. You need to get 2 banks set up. You need, at each of the banks, you want to have a checking with an ATM and a credit card. And so you have a backup system in case one fails. It's not unusual to be traveling internationally, have communications go down, or have a credit card stolen or ATM card missing, and you have a backup. Set this up before you leave your home country. In this example, Mike's from the US, and keep them separate as best you can when you're traveling. So if one set's missing, you got a backup set. Also, you want to set up your SMS text for 2-factor authentication before you leave. That may be with just text, or some banking institution have their own apps for doing that. And so you want to set that up too. And once you leave, you want to pull local money when you arrive at the airport, and just get money out of ATMs as you go. But do keep some cash backup, because ATMs are known to fail for a weekend and or even as much as a week. And if something were to happen, you have some cash to bide you through. Probably no more than a month though of cash on hand, living meagerly for that month. You don't want to have too much cash on hand. Next, he asked about what clothing to bring. I like warmer weather, so I don't bring winter clothes with me. I only go to places when it's 70s and above. So all I bring is 1 cargo shorts. Those are the ones with the big pockets on the side, where I could put a lot of goodies, including passports and all that stuff when I'm traveling. I also bring a pair of jeans. I bring 2 swimsuits. I bring 5 to 7 t-shirts. I bring 5 to 7 pairs of socks, and 5 to 7 underwear, depending on how often I want to do laundry. I bring running shoes, flip-flops, or beach shoes, and I bring a long sleeve shirt. I bring waterproof, a windbreaker, and a 1 to 2 dress shirts in case I'm going out to dinner somewhere nice. Sunblock, bug repellent, and shampoo, and etc., toothpaste and all that. And then I bring Ziploc bags. I double lock anything in double zip bag, anything liquid, when I put it in my luggage. Technology, I bring a laptop or a tablet, a smartphone, rechargers of course, and a camera. I'm presently mostly using my GoPro 7 with audio adapter because GoPro's terrible audio. In terms of luggage, he's asked backpack only and travel light, or is a suitcase required? Personally, I carry a 22-inch screen because my eyesight's not that good, and I have a hobby where I teach you all how to retire cheap, and I write reports about that. And so I like to have several screens open at a time. So I need to have a checked bag to fit everything in. For my monitor, I put it inside my luggage, my checked luggage. Your checked bag can be up to 22 kgs according to most airlines, which is 50 pounds. Sometimes you have to pay extra for that, but I need it for the monitor. And then your carry-on is 7 kg. Most airlines will allow 7 to 10 kg for your carry-on, which is about 15 pounds. That's what I bring in terms of suitcase. His next question is about flying. Is it better to leave the USA and return or go country to country for a period? This is Dan of Vagabond Awake. Please like this video, comment, or subscribe. Any of that would help our business. We'd sure appreciate it. Thanks so much. And so for me, I buy a one-way ticket whenever I leave whatever country I'm in. If I'm in the US, which is about once a year for a week or two visiting family, I leave with a one-way ticket. People always say, you can't get on a plane with a one-way ticket. You need an onward flight, and that's why I use onward flight providers. If you Google onward flights, you'll find several providers that will sell you a ticket. Actually, they're renting you a ticket for about 48 hours. Buy it just before you board your flight and save it to your smartphone so you can show it to airlines when you board and immigration when you land. And what an onward flight is, it's a ticket in your name, and it shows you leaving that country. If it's a 30-day visa you get upon entry, you want that flight to be in 29 days or whatever. And they usually cost from $10 to $20. I won't talk more about that. Just Google the words onward flight and buy that. The second thing you need to buy now, which is different from usual, this is different in light of the way travel has become tighter. In addition to other requirements that a country needs, you're also going to need in case you get hassled by immigration, they're starting to ask more questions. You want to have a printout of the place you're staying the first night when you arrive. So book a place and have that ready to show to immigration. The problem is they haven't had as many travelers, and so new travelers they get more time with to mess with you. And so even in countries where they haven't been asking for proof of where you're staying the first night, they are starting to ask for that again. And it depends on country, of course, but if you booked it, I'm saying go ahead and book the first night or more, maybe 3 to 7 days. I talk about in other videos, in order to get the best deal, you need to be on the ground. I'll put a link to that video also. By the way, I'm talking about links to other videos or web pages. Those will be, if you click the link in the notes below this YouTube video, you'll come and see links to those. You can get more detail on other things I'm talking about here. So buy a one-way ticket, get an onward flight, and print the place you're staying the first night or few nights when you get to a country, and be prepared to show that at boarding or at immigration, even in countries where it hasn't been required in the past. Also be aware that some countries are requiring testing for COVID now. Be aware of that before you try to go to the airport. Papers. Next question, my papers. What do I bring? Is my passport all I need to get around, and should I safeguard it in some way when traveling? Yes, of course you need to safeguard it. Depending what country you're from, passport's actually quite valuable. A US passport on the street in some countries is worth as much as $4,000 in cash, so you need to guard it with your life. Not your life, let someone have it rather than your life, because you can go to the US Embassy and you can get a new passport and an emergency passport at the US Embassy. But you do need to help yourself save time when you go to the US Embassy. Take a picture of your passport, the photo page, save that to both your phone and somewhere in the cloud so you can get to it if someone steals your phone. And also you want to bring with you a driver's license. Once in a while you're going to want to rent a car, and in many states or countries, they will accept your US driver's license. Optionally, I haven't done it myself, but many people get an international driver's license through AAA before they leave their home country, or whatever provider in your home country if they want to rent a car internationally. Some require international driver's licenses, which are just like it's a document basically. It's not available in all countries or required in all countries, but some people want it. What about medical? I have hearing aids and require 2 generic medications for arthritis and cholesterol, typically a 30-day prescription. Should I bring these with me, or can they be found internationally? This question is country by country, but there's a good chance that you'll be able to find your medicine in whatever country. But bring a 30-day supply and carry a prescription with it to prove that it's not a street drug. Some stuff that's sold over the counter, like in India or Mexico, is a scheduled drug, and if you fly into some countries with it, you can be arrested. And so make sure that's not on a scheduled list for whatever country you're flying into. And in any case, you want to carry a prescription, and that's going to help you prove that you're entitled to it. We've all seen where immigration takes away people's medicine when they arrive at an airport if they don't have a prescription from a doctor. Most of that is overblown hysteria, but have it with you just in case. And also double check the local laws, as I mentioned, on whatever prescriptions you have, and see if you're allowed to carry them into that country. And finally, if they're life-saving medicines that you can't go without for a few days, make sure you know what a backup medicine or generic medicine is for it. And so you can go and buy a replacement that your U.S. or your present country's doctor approves of. Finally, with respect to medical, you want to go join a Facebook group in whatever country you're going to visit and ask these questions of locals. You just go to Facebook, in the search box, type whatever country you're looking at, Ecuador, expats, and Google that. You'll see 3 or 4 groups in any country. Join those groups and ask a question. Say, I have this medicine. Is it allowed in, or do they have prescriptions for it in this country? Is it over the counter, or do I need to go see a local doctor to get a prescription for it once it runs out? Ask these kinds of questions. Facebook groups are best for that. Okay, COVID. I have already had COVID, the Mike says. Should I wait until this is all settles down, or just keep a mask on and go for it? Keep a mask on, of course. That could save your life or the life of others, according to all the doctors that are not into, I'll leave that alone. According to the mainstream doctors around the world, keep a mask on. It's one of the best. Wash your hands, keep a distance. Wait for the vaccine. If you're, most people should wait for the vaccine. But this gentleman's already had COVID. I'm not a doctor. He may have a month or 2, or some, I've read online, as much as 6 months, where the body has created its own immunity. That might be true. It might buy you a little time, and that's also true of vaccines. They don't believe those are forever immunity. So whether you've had COVID or you have vaccine, you may have some immunity, but it'll be your call in consultation with your doctor whether or not you travel. Another question I got, someone's, not Mike, but an anonymous email I got said, why are Chung and I traveling during coronavirus? Are we setting a bad example? I'm an American citizen. I can go to the US, but Chung can't. Chung is a Malaysian citizen. She can go to Malaysia, but I can't. Mexico was open to both of us. This was an ideal place to meet since we love Mexico. We've spent much time here, probably a year in the last 4 years we've spent in Mexico. We love it here, and so it's just a natural for us while we wait out this whole COVID-19 mess. Anyway, so those are the, actually it's 8 more things that you must know before retiring early abroad. Please like, comment, or subscribe if you see some value here. Also click the link in the notes below this YouTube video to see the videos I'm providing to you that give more detail on some of these topics. Again, thanks for watching our video. The world is your home. What time will you be home for dinner? Click the link in the notes below this YouTube video to get a copy of all the resources described in this video and a free copy of my ebook, How I Fired My Boss and Traveled the World. And while you're there, check out our 80 Retire Cheap reports and the course that teaches you how to make money as you travel the world.